Hello everyone, Jonathan Burns here, and thank you for joining me on Tuesday Tips. This is episode 24 of 2023, and I am glad that you've taken time to join me today. Today we are studying in the book of Song of Solomon. This will be a singular episode in the book of Song of Solomon. We've been looking through the books of poetry in 2023, and we have had a great time doing so. Now, I will tell you more about our final program for 2023 as well as 2024 plans at the end of this episode. I want to remind you that this program is brought to you by the Jurong Church of Christ. Go find them on Facebook, Jurong Church of Christ. You can see them at 120 Boone Lay Drive, or you can go to their website at jurongcoc.org, and there you can find out more information about the Church of Christ in Singapore. I want you to get your Bibles and go to the book of Song of Solomon, and we have 3 words. These are the 3 key words in the book of Song of Solomon. Now, I want to advise you and make you aware that we're not going to look at anything in the book of Song of Solomon that I wouldn't want my children to hear. We're going to look at 3 words that all have to do with love, that all had to do with beauty, and that all had to do with a reciprocal relationship that is found inside of marriage. Now, I will say this. I encourage every married couple, get the Bible, go to Song of Solomon, and read it together and see Solomon and his bride in their mutual respect, in their loving language, talk about their desires, their needs, as well as their building up of one another as they go through and look toward life together. The first word I want you to see is the word beloved. Now, this word is used 34 times in 28 verses. Now, this word means to boil, to love, or a lover. And here's some of the ways it's used in Song of Solomon 2:16. My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds his flock among the lilies. In other words, both Solomon and the bride and the groom, have this love for one another. When they look at one another, they know. When they are around one another, there's no one else. When their hands begin to touch, there's no one else of which is there. The beloved, the boiling up of feelings, is what's being described in this book. In chapter 7, verse 10, this is what we read, I am my beloved, and his desire is toward me. Here we have 2 people who desperately love one another, and they show their affection one to another. There's the definition of marriage. 2 people brought together in a union who boil over for one another, and there's no one else who can get in that way. We have the word beloved. Go see how it's used in all the other verses as you read it with your spouse. Not only do we have the word beloved, but we also have a word that is directly connected. It's the word love. It's used 30 times in 27 verses. It means to boil, to love, a lover. You'll notice a kindred connection between beloved and love. 2 who care with compassion. 2 who live together. 2 who care together. 2 who cannot be apart. There is the definition of beloved and loved. They boil over one for another. This word is used in Song of Solomon 1:15. Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes. Now, I've never looked at my wife and says, you have dove's eyes. But the point of the matter is, here is both the bride and the groom, and they're complimenting one another of the things of which they love among one another. Now, you're going to notice Song of Solomon 1:15 here in just a moment when we look at our third word. But here's the word love. They boil over one for another. Here's Song of Solomon 7:16. How fair and how pleasant you are, O love, with your delights. It's in the marriage relationship where nothing is hidden. It's in the marriage relationship when everything is sacrificed. It's in the marriage relationship when there are no boundaries between love. And these people here in this particular scene are loved, are beloved, and our final word here is fair. It's used 13 times in 11 verses, and it means beautiful, pleasant, and well. The first time we see it is in that passage we've already seen, chapter 1, verse 15. Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. Here we have the writer talking about how his bride is beautiful. She's pleasant. She's well. Now, this talks about physical looks, but also the mental and the emotional relationship one between another. You are enough, the bride says to the groom. It's used in chapter 4, verse 7. You are fair, my love, and there is no spot in you. You are fair. You're beautiful, both inside and out, and there's no corruption among you. There will not be corruption among you because you are mine and I am yours. You see, in the book of Song of Solomon, there are key words, and they help us understand that marital love truly can be found. I appreciate you studying with me today. I look forward to next week. That'll be episode 25, and there we will have like a year-ending type episode reminding ourselves of keeping our commitment inside of God, especially focusing upon Christ. Now, next year when we return, we'll be back on Tuesdays, and we will continue to study similar to how we've been studying here. We will be looking at a book, and we'll be marching through that book, looking at various things that hopefully will help our lives, and we'll also give you some questions, some things you can work out, some things you can focus on to help you take these tips and move them further down in your day. But for now, I'm Jonathan Burns, signing off on Tuesday Tips, Practical Tips from Poetry.